What's going on, everybody? Got Perry here to my right. Eric didn't come because he said, fuck that, I'm not going to see this piece of shit movie.
Happy Valentine's Day.
Happy Valentine's Day, everybody. So, yeah, we went to go see Sonic the Hedgehog after much controversy, after it had its just horrifying debut of the Sonic character design. They spent, I think, like millions of dollars just redoing the design.
The company went bankrupt.
Yeah, did they?
The company that had to redo the design of Sonic, that went fucking under.
Damn. It's kind of hard to believe that like they actually did that. Like this was like a pretty this is something that like would only happen in today's time. Like they release a promo, the internet just fucking has like a mob, and then all of a sudden they're like, you know what? Fuck it, you're right. We're gonna change it.
Yeah. It doesn't surprise me. I look at what Rise of Skywalker was. That was just a reaction to Last Jedi.
There is a conspiracy theory I heard from my friend Rory on Facebook, where he said that he thinks that they came out with the fucking trailer for it, but they made a shitty Sonic on purpose just for the trailer, just so everybody can fucking say how horrible it is, and then they can come out with the real Sonic design, which is the one we saw now. That way they just draw more people into the movie just because they quote unquote changed the design. I don't fucking think that's really true.
I don't think so, because the budget is ridiculous. Like, why would you want to spend more money on marketing and stuff like that?
No, you're right, but I'm saying like they already had the real Sonic made for the actual film, but they released a trailer with the fake Sonic that looks like a piece of shit. So all they had to do was just like lie about the numbers or whatever, and they could come out with the movie.
That's
true.
I
mean, it's pure speculation, but I just thought that was a fun theory.
But I think you would still have to spend more money on marketing.
You do have to spend more money on marketing, though, either way. Okay, that was dumb. I'm done now. This movie has gotten surprisingly positive reviews. I honestly thought critics were just gonna trash this just into oblivion, but it's actually got, right now it's averaging at least a tomato, so it's like above 60, I think.
But it just came out, so that could go down.
Yeah, we'll see if it goes down, but right now it's pretty positive overall. So I went into this thinking, okay, like this actually this actually might not be that bad, even though the trailer looks like shit. But I came out of it, and this is not a good movie, like, at all. This was kind of hard to get through, to be honest. This film, I'm pretty sure, is only average length. I'm not sure. I'm pretty sure it's only an hour and a half. But this felt like a 2-hour movie.
Yeah,
definitely. It felt so long, just because it just runs into like every problem that most just cookie cutter mainstream movies have, which is just the plot is just, it's so like templative and formulaic. Everything is basically predictable. It doesn't throw any curveballs at you, and when it tries to throw a curveball at you, it's the same curveball every fucking mainstream movie throws at you that you just see coming from a mile away.
Yeah.
The human characters in this are just absolutely boring, and just they don't have any real charming personality or anything to latch onto as a likable character. This movie, like, even like the ending is just like predictable. Like, I knew exactly how the ending was gonna go, and it's the structure is just, and I get it. Like, people are gonna say, oh, it's a kids movie. What do you expect? It's purely for kids. If that's the case, I don't know why that is, because, like, first of all, there was a lot of adults and a lot of older people in our theater. Yeah, there were kids in there, but there were still a lot of adults in the theater, but just that didn't even have kids. They were just there to watch the movie, and that's because, like, the people who actually grew up with Sonic when it came out are now adults. So I just don't see why they couldn't have tried to do something that was both for kids and adults, and it could have worked. Like a film like Shrek. Yeah, it's an animated film, but it works for kids and adults. And this film didn't really even try to appeal to adults very much. It was basically just saying, fuck it, we're just gonna go full kids route and just pander to them, and it'll be fine. But it didn't really give much for any kind of older crowd, at least in my opinion. Like, this film felt very childish and very non-caring to give any content to anybody else besides kids. But yeah. So that being said, again, like it could have tried harder to have something that was like a bit more creative, a bit more subversive, but it just doesn't. It just falls into every single Hollywood mainstream movie cliche and plot structure that you can imagine, and it's all there, and that was a huge letdown. But I will have to say the best part of this movie is Jim Carrey.
Yeah.
I grew up with his movies, and I personally really like Jim Carrey as an actor, both as a comedian actor and just as an actual actor. So like I was looking forward to Jim Carrey in this movie, and I gotta say, like, he fucking killed it in this movie. He was so awesome. Like pretty much every time he's on screen, I just like I went from just like boring mode to just like, oh shit, Jim Carrey, awesome. And that's pretty much how it was every single time he was on screen. And he was perfect and did exactly what he needed to do in this movie to make it entertaining. And at least when he was on screen, because he does, again, he gives you the over-the-top comedic Jim Carrey performance that you would want, and it's so fucking hilarious and entertaining, because it's just like the delivery and his movements, he just commits to what he's doing 100% of the time, and it just works for me. And yeah, he was by far, like, it's not even a contest, he was by far the best aspect of this film. And if it wasn't for him, this movie would have almost no redeeming quality to it at all. Yeah, I guess that's what I'll say for now. You gotta want to say anything, Perry?
I got a fever, and the only prescription is more Jim Carrey.
Yes, hard agree there.
Yeah, I kind of feel the same way. It's like, I think it was trying to be a family movie, but I don't even think it really hit for that really that target. I think it was really just for kids.
Yeah.
I mean, if I was a 7 or 8 year old, I'd probably like this movie. And I don't know, I can't give it a pass just because it's Sonic, because it was really tough to sit through. I mean, the human characters besides Jim Carrey were insufferable. They were just either flat out boring or just insufferable to
absolutely.
watch. It's like James Marsden. I don't see why they keep casting him in movie, because he has no charisma. He has no personality to him.
You mean the main actor of this movie?
Yeah, like he has no charisma or personality to him whatsoever.
The best movie I've ever seen him in is like Anchorman 2.
Jack Lame.
Jack Lame. Yes, you got it, Jack Lame.
I'm Jack Lame.
and I'm Jack Lame.
Yeah, he's just like, he's a vacuum cleaner for like charisma and personality. Like, I guess the effects for Sonic were, I don't know, decent.
I guess it was competent.
But
it looks like CGI the whole time. But
right.
But I mean, I guess you can't help that somewhat. So I mean, I don't know. For me, there was a few action sequences that were kind of cool to watch, because it does that like, oh, he's like super fast kind of thing, and then like time slows down.
Right.
So those scenes were like kind of cool, and I could tell they put some time into it. But it's like, we've seen that scene so many times in other movies.
Right.
Like, I mean, X-Men's done it. The Flash is, movies that the Flash have done that. There's a lot of movies that take on that kind of like sequence where it's like, oh, they're going really fast and time stops, and they kind of just like fiddle with everything, and it's like they just use that for Sonic, and it's like, okay, yeah, it's cool, but fuck, how many times have we seen this already? Like, so many different times.
Yeah, I will give the film props that it pokes fun at Fast and the Furious.
That was funny.
Yeah, it's like, it's about family. Tom, it's like,
That was good. And that is one thing about this movie that isn't, that was kind of fun. Because, besides Jim Carrey just being awesome every time he was on screen, there are some, like, jokes besides Jim Carrey, like, very few jokes in this movie that were funny and were clever, and I was like, okay, that landed. I wish we had more of that throughout the movie, instead of just, like, because this movie was, like, I would say, like, this movie probably, like, out of 10, there would be, like, 8 misses and then two hits.
Yeah,
and
sounds about right.
That's how it was the whole movie. It's like, okay, now I have to sit through 8 missed fucking jokes that fall flat, and then, okay, I'll get maybe 2 that land in some way. And
they push the human characters besides Jim Carrey like they're a lot funnier than they actually are, and it just made it even harder to watch.
Yeah, they gave them like so many jokes that just don't work, and then they spend a lot of time with them way too much time with him to make you like want to care about him. It's like, why are we trying to care about the human characters? Like, make us try to care about fucking Sonic. Like, focus on Sonic. And even then, like, I have to say, guys, like, I mean, I hate to say this, but Sonic was annoying half the time. Like, he was just kind of this annoying, like, kiddie character that they gave a bunch of lame ass like kids jokes to, like the whole fucking movie. And it was just like, only like maybe here and there he'll have some charm to him, and he would say like something that was funny. But like again, like at least half the time, like he just came off like just really like just tiresome, like just kind of just really annoying.
Yeah, I will say, I mean, they could have done a lot worse with the voice acting casting. Yeah. Like, I don't think the voice actor for Sonic was horribly miscast. No. I think it was just the material.
It's the lines.
Yeah, the material he was given. The worst parts of the film to me overall were when they were trying to have emotional scenes.
Oh, those were so hard.
Those were insufferable.
It's like, why are you trying to do this right now? Why? It just felt so fucking like, it felt so forced, and it felt so like, it just felt so unnecessary. Like why are y'all doing this? Like, we don't feel anything for these characters, so why are you trying to force this?
Right.
You know, through the music and through the situation, it was just like, ugh, it was so like, it was so unearned every single time, and it was just, it's hard to get through, because it does it like 3 or 4 times in this movie. Every time there's some serious moment, I'm like, fuck.
And you just roll your eyes.
Yeah.
You roll your eyes and you sink down into your seat. Like, God damn it.
I couldn't agree more, dude. I mean,
it was the most stock, like, sad, like, piano music that you hear in, like thousands of other movies.
And that goes for the score for this whole movie. Like, the score is just, like, so fucking, like, it's all just stock, like, you know, sounds that you would get, like, out of a database or something like that.
Yeah.
And again, I get it. It's a fucking kids movie. I get it. But I'm sorry, when you have other movies that are animated and technically for kids that are just vastly superior, like, I'm going to hold you to a higher standard. I'm not just going to just excuse it because it's a kids movie.
Right. And I kind of hate that argument, you know, because it's like, I can list off so many great kids movies that people in their 30s and 40s, you know, like, and even older really enjoy, you know.
Yeah.
I hate that argument. Oh, it's for kids. It's like, it's still a movie.
Yeah, you can still try. Like, it doesn't mean does that mean any movie that's in for kids that just don't try anymore? You can just puke out anything. It's like, okay, well, it's a kids movie. Smurfs 2 is a fucking kids movie, but no one's defending that piece of shit.
Yeah.
Alvin and the Chipmunks is a kids movie, but no one's defending that piece of shit either.
Oh my god, those movies.
Yeah. This is not on that level of bad. It's not, because again, there's at least some charm here and there, and Jim Carrey's like really fucking awesome in this movie. But I mean, it still ain't a good movie, and it's still like just, it definitely just didn't try with its plot or like the dialogue or the jokes. Definitely could have tried a lot harder with that. And
James Marsden and I guess like his wife or his girlfriend or whatever had no chemistry whatsoever.
Yeah,
and they would try to have like scenes of, you know, them just playing back and forth where Sonic's just in the other room, and it's like, God, can we please wrap this up?
I didn't think his girlfriend in the movie was a very good actress either.
Not at all.
Yeah.
No, she's fucking terrible.
Yeah, I didn't buy like almost any of her scenes.
Yeah.
Unfortunately. But yeah, I mean, okay, so like again, it's not god awful or anything, but I can't stress to you enough that it's just not a good movie. Like, it really isn't a good movie, and I'm surprised that so many critics on Rotten Tomatoes are recommending this to people, because I would not recommend this movie to anybody, not even really Sonic fans. I mean, maybe if you're just like a super casual and you want to go see a Sonic movie, you don't really watch movies, you just want to see a Sonic movie, sure, I mean, whatever, I guess you can go see it. I don't think you're going to be that upset by this movie. I think you'll probably enjoy most of it. But I mean, for people who want to go see a decent movie, I can't recommend this. Like, I really can't.
And I can settle for that. I can settle for watching a decent movie, because I watch movies all the time that I think are just decent. You know, nothing noteworthy, nothing too noteworthy. But I mean, didn't even get a decent movie with this, and I didn't even have high hopes for this movie, at all.
Me neither.
I mean, I didn't expect it to be good, but I didn't know how bad it was going to be. But definitely ain't great.
Detective Pikachu, I thought, was a better movie, in my opinion. Like, I don't know how many people are going to agree with me on that, But like, at least with that movie, like, there was like constant charisma throughout the film, because I feel like the Ryan Reynolds dialogue and his delivery throughout the film, and most of the material that was given to him, was at least like enough to keep me going through the throughout the movie. And yeah, like the plot is also like, you know, cliched just like this one, but I felt like this Sonic one is even more cliched. Like, it's so fucking cookie cutter. Like everything about this plot and the writing, it just comes off just like no one tried to throw any kind of neat kind of curveballs at you. It was all just the same kind of shit you see all the time.
And when Sonic is trying to bond with James Marsden, those scenes fell completely flat because you just did not give a shit about their character, or they didn't feel like they had a bond or any chemistry whatsoever.
Jim Carrey is the villain of this film, but yet I did not want him to die because I wanted to see him keep coming on screen.
Right.
And I'm, you know, I guess I won't spoil it or anything, but you know, I was glad when I found out, like, you know, at the end of this movie that, you know, we're probably going to keep having more of him. There's going to be a sequel, more than likely, from this movie if it makes enough money, I guess. And you know, hopefully we'll be, if there's another Sonic, then we're more than likely going to be seeing more Jim Carrey, and that's a good thing. Like, that was a smart move on the, you know, the studios to do that, because he was the most likable thing about this movie, hands down.
Yeah. It sucks that this movie is his comeback, though, like his comeback movie, because I don't think he's done a movie in a couple of years. Yeah. If he has, definitely nothing no one's really heard about.
Yeah, that's true.
And it just sucks that his like comeback movie is kind of just wasted on Sonic the Hedgehog.
I mean, everybody in our theater fucking loved this movie. Like, they clapped at the end of this. They were so pleased with this. But it's like, I don't know. Like, I don't know how many people are actually going to be that pleased with it. I mean, will it make its money back? I don't know. Honestly, this was like, this is the weekend of its release, and it wasn't the most packed theater. Like, it was decently, like, filled, I guess, but I mean, it wasn't even close to being sold out or anything.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. I mean, if it's Valentine's Day weekend, I don't recommend watching this. I definitely recommend go watching Birds of Prey. I think that's a much more entertaining film for you guys to watch, and at least has some sort of, like, you know, style to it. It has a personality to it. This one doesn't have really any of that. So
yeah, I don't even, if you saw a review, guys, you know I don't even really like Birds of Prey, but I would much rather you watch Birds of Prey than this.
This makes Birds of Prey look like Citizen Kane.
I don't know about all that.
But yeah, guys, I guess that's it. That being said, with all things considered and everything I just said, I'll give Sonic the Hedgehog God, I feel like I shouldn't be giving it that high. I'll give it a 4 out of 10.
Yeah, I completely agree. I'm going to give it a 4 out of 10, too.
I was going to give it a 4.5, just to get it like a 0.5 for Jim Carrey, but a 4 is enough. The 4 points are pretty much just there for Jim Carrey at this point.
It's a really bad movie. It's really bad. I'm not going to even sugarcoat it. No. Unless you're like a man-child, unless you really love Sonic, or
just don't watch movies at all. Like, you don't ever watch movies that often, and you just want to go watch one. Yeah, but at that point, you're pretty much almost like any movie. So, I mean, I don't know.
And if you don't watch movies that often, I would much rather you go watch good movies than waste your time on this.
And I mean, and I guess I didn't really touch on this, but like in the standard of like video game movies, I guess this is one of the better ones, but that's like a super low bar.
Right. Like, look who, like, the Resident Evil movies are shit.
Yeah.
Mortal Kombat is, Mortal Kombat. Oh, definitely.
Trash, dude.
Yeah.
Super Mario Bros.
Oh, God. With John Leguizamo.
Oh, he ruins every movie he's in.
Yeah. Except John Wick.
Except John Wick.
And Carlito's Way.
That's true. That is true.
Yeah.
He was actually, he was good in that movie.
Yeah, he was good in that one.
Well, you have Brian De Palma directing, you should be doing all right.
Right.
But, yeah, like in that standard of video game movies, again, this is definitely one of the better ones, but it's just a really low bar. Like, that's a really, really low bar. So, I mean, take that for what it is. You know, if you've seen your fair share of, like, video game movies, this is one of the better ones, so maybe that'll make you want to go see it, but that's a really low standard. So yeah, that's it. Jim Carrey is awesome. Everything else is pretty shitty, but I guess I got to give them a little bit of props for going back and redoing the design somewhat, though. I mean, at least they did that for everybody, because I think if they didn't do that, this film would have been even more atrocious. My God.
Yeah, I feel like a lot of critics are just giving it a pass because it's
of that.
Just because it's Sonic, and just because the work they did.
Yeah. Yeah. To me, it's I definitely feel it's that it's because of the work they did for sure. Because it's like, you know, they don't want to trash it like that, because it's like, oh, they put so much time and money into going back and trying to please the fans, you know.
Right.
But all right, I guess that's all we got to say about Sonic the Hedgehog. To be honest, guys, I don't know when. I think we might be doing a review next week for The Lodge, but we have to see if that's coming near us. There's a few places in my state where it's at, but they're really far away, and they're at pretty shitty theaters.
Yeah.
So I can't guarantee that if it doesn't expand that we'll go and watch it, but if it expands slightly to theaters that, you know, aren't so incredibly far away and aren't that shitty, then we'll definitely give you guys a review next week for The Lodge.
Right.
But if that doesn't happen, then there's not going to be a movie review for you guys next week, because I don't know what's coming out next week besides that's even interesting. So
right, you got to bear with us, because 2019 was such a great year for movies, and 2020 it's shaping up to be a really bad year for movies. I mean, there are going to be a couple of surprises, sure, but for the most part, like, none of the films look even interesting enough to do a review on.
To be honest, though, like, most of the time, like, at the beginning of the year, like in the first half of the year is always looking like, oh, this is gonna be shit.
Yeah.
But, like, once you start getting, like, after the summer into, like, August and, like, September and October, they start hearing about, like, all these, like, really good independent films that are coming out of these film festivals and shit, and then we start getting, like, really hyped for all these films. So maybe, like, you know, if the trend continues, at least by halfway of the year and, like, going into August and September, we'll get a lot of buzz about a lot of really good independent films. So
possibly.
I hope that's the case.
I don't know, but, like, I don't feel like the films this year are going to stack up to last year, because last year we got Parasite, Lighthouse, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, Uncut Gems.
But see, I didn't even hear about Parasite until, like, again, like, what, like July or August? Like, right. I didn't hear about
true.
that. I've heard about Lighthouse forever. But,
yeah.
like, and I also heard about, what's another one? Fucking
we
Adam
knew
Sandler.
Once Upon a Time in Hollywood was coming out for, like, 8 months.
Uncut Gems, I knew that for a long time, too.
Yeah.
So, but they're, again, like, they're in the Midsummer. We knew that forever, too.
Yeah.
But, like, I mean, like, Portrait of a Lady on Fire, like, I learned about that, like, a few months before I even fucking saw it, and that turned out to be my #1 favorite movie of last year, so.
That's true.
We'll have to wait and see, guys. I mean, hopefully by August or something, we'll hear about a lot of these great films, and hopefully they'll stack up. We'll see. I mean, I'm not betting on it, but I can only hope, and, yeah, so. 2020 right now isn't looking too hot, because all we have is, like, Wes Anderson film. We have Wes Anderson, Edgar Wright, that David Lowery movie, by the way, The Green Knight.
That looks awesome.
If you haven't seen my trailer reaction to that, please go watch it, because that shit looked awesome. That movie looks fucking awesome. I can't wait to see that movie. That's definitely my top 5 most anticipated films of it, because we both love A Ghost Story. We think that's a masterpiece.
Definitely.
So I'm really excited for that film. And I'm really honestly excited for anything A24 is going to pump out this year.
Yeah.
So, First Cow.
Yeah.
That looks like it's going to be pretty good, too. So, yeah.
Dune's going to be a good treat at the end of the year.
Yeah, Dune. Is that coming out at the end?
Yeah.
Of the year?
And apparently it's going to be 3 hours long, and it's a 2-part. So, like, Dune Part 1 comes out this year, and I guess Dune Part 2 comes out another year.
Whoa, are you serious?
Yeah, because the book's so big, they're splitting it up into 2 3-hour
movies. Are they both
movies.
like, they're both 3 hours?
Yes.
Damn. I wonder, I'm so scared that Dune is going to flop, though, dude. I'm so fucking scared, because I'm not like Blade Runner 2049, that had name recognition and everything, and that shit still didn't do very well here, like in the US. I think it made its money back, like, worldwide, but, like, it didn't do well here, like, in America, especially upon, like, the first, you know, weekend, and that shit sucks. And especially if it's Villeneuve, he directs his movies in a very like slow burn, kind of artsy type of way, and I don't know if that's going to appeal to like mass audiences like that.
Yeah, but also there's not like a Star Wars movie coming out at the end of December. There's no like big blockbusters. I feel like if there was some big blockbuster at the end of December, I feel like Dune would do a lot worse. But
Hopefully I hope that the marketing team does a really good job at drawing people in. Like, and I hope that people like it, because what if people go in and it's like actually a masterpiece, but people just don't take to it. They think it's boring or too long because it's fucking 3 hours. It's already not really
yeah, they
something
can
casual.
sit through Endgame.
Yeah, but they can sit through that though.
Yeah, which is 2 hours of that movie was really boring.
Yeah, yes. I was sick of that time traveling shit, man. I really hated that.
Most overused plot device in all of cinema.
That was supposed to be Marvel's grand opus, like fucking, what do you call it? Not a grand opus, but a fucking magnum opus. But like, it just turned out to be a fucking time travel movie because Iron Man shits one out of his ass in 2 seconds. But anyway, getting off track here. But
yeah, this review's gone on a little too long, I guess.
But this is here. Nobody's gonna watch this probably except for our subs. So this is really just for the subs. Anybody who's watching this review and you're not a sub and you're just watching this, then I salute you for clicking on the one of million fucking Sonic reviews that are on YouTube.
Right.
And if you are new, please subscribe to my channel. That'd be great, man. All right, so that's all we gotta say about Sonic the Hedgehog, and apparently a lot of other things we got into. So if you really liked what we had to say and you really liked what we rambled on about, please give this video a thumbs up and share it amongst your friends. And don't forget to subscribe to the channel to be updated on more film related content. Peace.